Welcome. Welcome to What in the Shibal with Susie and Ed.
We're just two Asian Americans talking shit about shit.
We don't even know what shit sometimes.
Yeah, but there's always shit to come.
The shit always just comes up. How it works.
How are you, Ed? How's your week been?
Apparently exhausting.
Yeah. You seem tired. You seemed tired last week, too. You've had a very grueling last couple weeks.
Yeah, I think I've just been like emotionally exhausted. I mean, I wasn't really that busy during my birthday week. I should probably stop doing that. It probably makes a bunch of noise. But playing with my pop socket, for those of you listening, we're like, what
when he says that, he means pop socket. He's not using that as a euphemism for something else.
The pop socket that goes on your phone. But yeah, I just was like emotionally exhausted, and like I kept being like, look, if something catastrophic happens, obviously I'll make content about it. But I kept being like, I hope nothing crazy happens over the weekend. Because like every day I kept being like, I should make content today. And I was like, no, it's your birthday weekend. Because that's the thing.
Well,
I was like,
it was a thing. It was a thing.
I was like, and I don't like to quote that Motown song. Is it technically Motown or is it just an oldies?
Well, I don't know what song you're referring to, so I can't make that assertion yet. It's
my birthday. And I'll not make content if I want to.
I'm pretty sure it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. If that's the song you're thinking. I don't think it was it might have been Motown era, but it's definitely an oldie.
Yeah.
Shirelles, I want to say. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So to quote that song very loosely, you
just made it totally different. But that's okay. That's okay. It's your birthday week. Do what you want to.
But that's the song that played in my head as I made the excuse.
It's my birthday week, and I'm not going to make content if I don't want to. That one?
Yeah.
It's really catchy. It's really catchy.
Someone should make a song.
Oh, I'm worried that somebody now will.
But please don't use my voice.
Oh, God, please.
Use this singing and auto-tune it.
That is my worst fucking nightmare. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, Sam. I really would hate that.
Yeah.
I think.
So but your birthday week was good.
Someone's gonna do it.
I did. We did just Barbara Streisand it, didn't we? But your birthday was good though, yes?
Yeah, it was good. We went to go get fried chicken.
God, that was so good.
Wasn't it?
It was so good. I had some left over. I had the next day. I put it in the air fryer. I was like, oh God, why is this so good?
Yeah, but the you see what I meant by the honey butter? It like doesn't hold up when you reheat it though.
Yes.
It like melts away.
Yes.
The powder.
Because there's a high sugar content and it just completely caramelizes. I was like, oh, that's okay. Still tastes good.
Still tastes good, but not the same.
What's the place called? Chimac?
Yeah, Chimac Star.
Man, it was good. So the funniest thing, we pull up, we walk in, and they have like TV screens and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was like, what's funny?
And I like looked and I was like, that dog looks just like Archie. And I was like, that man in this video looks just like Ed. They have literally Ed's TikTok videos of him eating the food, like playing on a loop. So like while I'm eating dinner with Ed, there's like videos of Ed eating
and it wasn't even like there was like a bunch of them rotating through. It was like those two videos of mine and then like a 15-minute or 15-second video of someone else.
Lady, yes. Well, there was a lady like dancing. It was really bizarre.
Yeah. But basically, my face was up there the whole time.
So strange. I was like, oh, I'm eating what Ed's eating.
So uncomfortable.
And I
was like, I remember agreeing to this, but I never really played it out in my head if I was to be there.
You really never know what people are going to do with your content. Right. And I guess this restaurant chose to just play your face on a loop, which I'm guessing 7 days a week, if they're, whenever they're open, because it was the whole time. It was so funny. I was like,
they had other videos playing there before, so I just thought it'd be looped in there, but they took all of that out, and it was just me. And I was like,
now we know who the Chimac Star really is. It's you. We did. We got free tofu out of it.
Yeah, we did.
It was delicious.
But they really do have an amazing mala menu.
Oh, they do. God, it was so good.
And it was like literally mind-numbing spicy.
It was properly spicy.
Yeah.
Properly spicy. It was spicy to the point where you're like, damn, this is spicy, but like you could really taste all the flavors and like the nuance in each dish. It was really delicious.
And the tteokbokki one, specifically, their mala tteokbokki is
so
flavorful.
Fuck, I'm so hungry.
And there's like so much in it. There's like thick glass noodles, not the skinny ones.
Noodles.
There's like potato duck.
There's egg
regular
and the sausages.
Yep. Oh, the sausages, and they cut them up to look like octopuses. So it gets like a little bit more like crispy.
It was so good. It was so good. And that fucking chicken, man, that fried chicken cooked to perfection. If you're in the Koreatown area, Chimac Star, it's a little
And
free plug for you guys because it was
Yeah.
fucking good.
And if you like fried chicken, which if you don't,
What are
what is
you
wrong with
okay?
you? Unless you're vegan or vegetarian, obviously.
But you can
But
fry
even
anything.
then, you can like, fried mushrooms or whatever, but they're fried crispy tofu.
Oh,
Mala
delicious.
is so good.
But they brought that out at the very, very end,
Yeah.
and my mouth was already so spicy and burny, and tofu retains a lot of heat. So I was like, this is so temperature hot in my hot, spicy, burning mouth. And then there was more mala spice on top, and I was like, I feel like I'm a little bit out of my body. But then you'd wash it down with a cold beer and you're okay again.
Yeah.
Which is the whole premise
They also
of that
brought
restaurant.
us a free thing of soju too. So
With a flashing light on it. I have a video of it. You can put it in the
and then we didn't even open it till we were done eating, and we were like, we basically have to chug this out of the
And
bottle.
they didn't bring us glasses, so I was like, fuck it, it's your fucking birthday. We're all just like passing it around. I was like, what? My husband was
So
just like,
classy.
what's happening? I was like, this is what happens when you dine with a bunch of Korean people. We're just pounding beers and drinking soju out of the bottle.
And eating so much because initially you were like, I was like, we'll take 2 large orders of like chicken and other stuff.
I was
And
like, that's
Susie
a
was like,
lot.
there's 18 in each order. I was like, oh, we'll eat it.
There was only like 3 pieces left of each. Oh, not even each one.
There was
It
like
was
2
good.
and 2 maybe.
Yeah, it was so good. It was fantastic.
Really
Highly
was.
recommend. Oh, the French fries. The French fries there. They put the butter, what is
The
it?
honey
The honey
butter
butter
powder
dust on top.
Yeah.
There's no business
And you
being that
think
good.
honey butter, like wings, like fried chicken and honey butter fries would be like too much honey butter? There is no such thing.
Because the honey butter is also slightly savory. So that's a really good, like, it's really tempered. Like, it's not just sweet.
And then when you order something mala and you dip the fries in some of the, or even the chicken, to be honest with
Should we
you.
go have that for lunch?
It's like, it's just, see, this is why people talk about an Ed 15, because I talk about food, you want to eat
Yes,
it.
right.
And it's always like fried.
They talk
greasy
about it,
food.
what? Ed 15?
Yeah, remember I told you like some of my friends when they first started hanging
Oh,
out, they
right,
gained like
right.
10 to 15 pounds because they're like, you talk about
The
food
Ed
so
15,
often.
yes.
And that's usually what happens is they're like, let's go get it now. And
I
I'm
want
like, okay.
to. Can I DoorDash it? It's
Yeah.
really far away from my house.
And then Saturday I went to Silverlake House,
Mhm.
which was like Thai food.
Yeah. You've been there before too, right?
No, I've never been there.
Oh.
Have you?
No.
I didn't know driving past it for like 10 years because it's like in Silverlake. It's on Silverlake Boulevard. There's this like little elephant logo on the sign, and it looks like this really like quaint, cozy, cool atmosphere. Man, it's really cool in there. There's like
Yeah.
an indoor-outdoor space with a tree.
Never driven by it. Silver Lake to me, I'm a West Side girl. Silver Lake to me, I was like, it might as well be a different country. I'm like, wouldn't know how to get to Silver Lake if my life depended on it. Gun to
Yeah.
my head, I'd be like, I don't know where it is.
But that place, man, it was so good.
Yeah.
Something even as simple as their fried rice, so flavorful. I mean, it had crabs in it, so it was delicious.
Yum. That sounds great.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was like my birthday weekend.
You sound like you have a bubble in your throat.
A lot of it, does it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that really means.
There. It's gone.
Oh.
I have a very high sensitivity to that. If I talk to somebody and they have like a bubble in their throat or something, I'm like, cough right now. Cough. Clear your throat. Or like if I'm talking to somebody and they have it, I will subconsciously go, and my daughters call me out every time. They're like, they had a bubble in their throat, huh? I'm like, yes. It's crazy. My daughter has that same thing. It's like a misophonia thing. Like the bubble in the throat is my misophonia. Hers is like loud chewing or like when people do that with their mouth. She fucking can't handle it.
Oh.
My older daughter.
Yeah.
So when I hear it, I'm like, sorry, I'm over it.
I don't really even know what you were talking about.
You were talking about Silver Lake and
No, I
you're
meant the bubble in the throat.
Oh,
but,
you didn't hear it? I can hear it. I can
Yeah.
always hear it.
But
If you're listening, tell me if you heard it,
and
and we'll draw attention to it.
and then the rest of the weekend, I just kind of like sat there,
Good.
oftentimes with the TV on, but some of the times I was just like staring off at the wall.
Sometimes dissociating is a survival tool,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of what your brain needs to do to just kind of get you out of whatever headspace
Yeah.
you're in. That's
like,
literally what it's for.
People saw the videos, but like what they didn't see was like sometimes me staying up to like 5 a.m., like talking to people, like talking to different people, researching.
No,
looking
yeah.
things up.
There were a lot of
It's just, like,
mornings where I would call
exhausting.
you and you'd be like, I went to sleep like an hour ago. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please go back to sleep.
So I just like was just like shut down, I think.
That's okay. I hope you do things to restore yourself.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Apparently doing nothing was it. Just
I feel like that's maybe
nothing.
the most common way is to just
and just
unplug.
eating. Yeah. Because even Sunday I was like, I never have this craving, but I want a burger, so I made smash burgers.
Delish.
Vegan ones, because gout.
Oh.
Especially with the amount of chicken we ate. Like I didn't want to risk
I was
that.
watching you eat it. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I am not his mother. He can eat whatever he wants. He is a 41-year-old man.
No,
I'm going to just, sorry.
Just kidding.
Like, I'm not going to police his diet right now. I'm like, but girl, don't hurt yourself.
I did drink a lot of coconut water before and after,
Good.
and I did not have a flare up. And I
Great.
even had a flare up the
day or two before?
Yeah, 2 days before, which I drank a bunch of coconut water. And the next morning I was like, oh, I feel better, but
Good.
I'm going to eat a bunch of chicken tomorrow and I'm scared.
Sometimes you have to prepare for that, both by way of your body and the pants you choose to wear. Like stretchy ones.
Shit myself. Okay.
No.
I don't shit myself. Jeez.
No, I mean like stretchy pants because you want to eat a bunch of chicken.
For sure. But how was your week and week?
My week was good. Filled with work. It's like one of the last couple weeks of summer vacation. So we did a lot of back to school shopping, supplies and shit.
Is that still in person or you guys do a lot of it on Amazon?
No, we do it all in person.
Oh.
I don't like to use Amazon if I can help it.
Same.
Also my kids, I like them to have the experience. Something about back to school shopping feels very like kid-like to me. You know what I mean? Like walking the aisles and looking at the different pens and the colors and the pencils. And there's something very tactile to it that I like the kids to do. Also, there's some things that they might want to pick out for like what lunch bag they want for the year or their personal backpack style, which, whatever. So we did that. And then what else did I do? Did I do anything this weekend? Eating chicken was the highlight for me too.
Yeah. It often is.
Yeah, there's just been a lot going on. Like, we're doing some, I don't say remodeling, we're doing some things to the backyard. And so we bought some furniture and stuff like that. So again, everything right now, everything is party planning for my husband's birthday.
But have you guys just had that like construction noise all week?
No, it actually just started today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just started today.
So it was last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday was the sanding sounds of the deck. And then this week is the fixing of the walls in the house. And yeah, my daughter was pissed because she likes to sleep. The older one sleeps until like 11:30 or 12. She's, growing. And they came to this morning at like 7 and we're taking down a wall. And she's like, the fuck? And I was like, sorry. She's like, you couldn't tell them to come later. I'm like, that's not how the world works.
Yeah,
fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
We get this shit done. She's like, don't we set the time? I'm like, nah. And even if I did, the time would still be 7. I want it up and done and, whatever.
Because they can only do it to a certain amount, certain time late at night.
Right.
So
and
if
also
they don't come earlier and do that 12 hours,
I'm not trying to have them
extra
here.
days.
Yeah. You don't dictate what we do.
Yeah.
Are you paying for the wall to be fixed? No.
Here are some ear plugs.
I was like, you don't call the shots here, ma'am. Yeah. I'm the grown up. I'm paying for the work to be done. So you can just wake up early one day this whole summer.
Yeah. I would just be like, okay, noted.
Yeah.
And then just walk out.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for putting this on the comment card.
I'll put this in the feedback box.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't
if you'd like
exist.
to leave a comment, no, I don't think so. But yeah, that's my week. But there's been a lot going on like in the world. Today is Tuesday. You're not going to hear this till Thursday, but Kamala Harris picked her vice presidential running mate, who is Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. And I think, I think she made the right choice. I think she made a great choice.
It's better than Shapiro
from
Pennsylvania, because even yesterday on the Radio Korea podcast, that's what we talked about, because it was still...
Before you knew. Yeah.
It was still, he was the top choice.
He's very pro-Israel.
Which I thought would have been crazy for that.
Right. Well, and I think Tim Walz all around is the best pick for a multitude of reasons. But the thing is we can't keep holding, we have to, okay, here's my whole thing. People are like, how can you vote for Kamala Harris? She is pro-Israel. She is pro-genocide, which she is not. How can you vote for Kamala Harris? It's like, because with Kamala Harris, we as the people of the United States will stand a chance to say like, hey, these are the policies we want changed. We want your position on this to be different. We want to protest for this reason. If Donald Trump were to become president, we don't have that ability anymore. And I feel like people are losing sight of that. Like, I understand. I have been pro-Palestine this whole time. I have been very anti what the Israeli government has done in Palestine for forever. But I also know that not voting for Kamala is very clearly, and I'm so frustrated. Third party is just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You are smirking like.
I was smirking at you saying you were getting frustrated.
I'm getting frustrated because I have so many people who are like, how can you vote for her? She's a genocidal maniac. It's like, what is the alternative, people? What is the alternative? A complete and total upheaval of democracy as we know it? Letting when I think about Donald Trump becoming the president again, this is what I imagine. Do you remember that scene in Back to the Future Part 2 where Marty comes back and he has altered the timeline and now Biff has that big casino and he's got all these hookers in the room and the world is just fucking mayhem? That's what I imagine another Donald Trump presidency to look like. Like, we will not, and then Marty's mom and Marty himself, they have no choices, they have no options but to jump off of the fucking top of the building. Thank God Doc is there to save him, but with us, that won't be the fucking case. We won't have choices. We won't have options. It will be so that Donald Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants, and the people of the United States will no longer have literally any power to do anything. So I like Tim Walz as the VP pick.
I mean, Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania, akined some of the Palestinian protesters to the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes, he did.
He's
not
better
a great
than
pick.
that. But Walz has also been supportive of, he's been pretty pro-Israel. He's voted for pro-Israel things in the past. But I guess what people are happy about is that he does have a legacy of, like, reforming his beliefs, like with the gun control. But, and I do see your point, that because Kamala has been pretty pro-Israel as well. And even Walz recently met with Netanyahu. But
the question is what is the alternative? What is the choice?
Yeah.
What is the alternative?
I guess that's the hard part.
This is unfortunate. Listen, this is it's the system. Right? But we're already in the thick of the system. And if you want to be idealistic and be like, but we have to change the system. Well, it's not going to fucking happen in November. By November, that's not going to fucking happen.
That's like the tough part, is that like the whole system I feel like is rigged because it makes you feel like you have a choice. They're just like all the same shades of shit, I
suppose. But this herein is the system in which we live.
Yeah.
And I would love to say, like, sure, let's burn it down and start over. But that's just not the reality of it. And maybe I'm just like an older person. I'm of an older generation where I'm like, this is the system I live in. Would I love to see a world where we could actually vote in somebody who, but who's going to say there's somebody that aligns with all of their positions and stances? There isn't. I mean,
they're not. But I think the good starting point would be to outlaw lobbying.
Okay.
I mean, that's where like a lot of our problems with our politics lie.
Of course. Money.
Yeah.
Always money.
But like lobbying is illegal in almost every other country.
Of course.
It's called bribery.
Right. But I think right now, for me and just where I am is I want to focus on hopefully bringing a change to the political landscape in the United States as we know it right now. And I think Tim Walz is a good gateway to doing that. I think as an American, he seems very human to me. Unlike a JD Vance, who seems like a fucking weirdo robot with a lot of eyeliner on, which I don't mind men wearing makeup. I just want to make that very clear. I just feel like he goes a little heavy on the eyeliner, but really, who am I to
Maybe
who am I
he's
to talk?
just one of those people who has natural eyeliner eyes, like Ray Liotta, kind of.
Maybe. That's probably true. But when you look at, Tim Walz is
going to be like, Ray Liotta wore eye makeup.
Right?
What?
R.I.P. Tim Walz, he is a Midwestern man. He is a Army vet.
I mean, he does balance out the non-white brown
president.
Yes. to help.
Well,
get the other
he was a
votes.
teacher for 20 years. He was a football coach. He made legislation so that every kid in the state of Minnesota gets free food. Like, so he was doing an interview with Jen Psaki, and it was really interesting to me. Something really stuck out to me. And what he was talking about is like that whole, how he called JD Vance and like Donald Trump, weird. And he said like, Donald Trump goes after Kamala Harris for laughing and like makes fun of the fact that she laughs a lot. And I'm like, laughing is a very human thing to do.
People do make fun of her a lot for that.
But humans laugh. And if you have a kind of laugh that is being made fun of, but he doesn't laugh at her. He doesn't make fun of her. Yeah, your laugh can be a little jarring. He laughs at her. He's making fun of her for laughing in general, not necessarily just the kind of laugh she has. She's always laughing. She's always laughing. People laugh. I've never seen Donald Trump laugh ever. Have you? Think about it. Like actually like, ha, 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 belly laugh. Never seen him laugh. And Tim Walz is like, I'm just the kind of guy who comes home, plays Frisbee with my dog, gives him good boy belly rubs. And I'm like, I can't imagine JD Vance or, any people on the right. What's the other guy's name? The Florida guy, Ron DeSantis.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't imagine him like having a normal life. And why is that? Because they're all kind of weird and it's kind of true. Like, I can't, like Joe Biden, eating a cone of ice cream. Like, that seems really normal and relatable and human. Donald Trump picks up a water bottle and drinks it like this. It's like weird. It is weird. Like, they don't seem like, and the more, when he pointed it out, I was like, oh God, that's kind of true. You have very little to contribute today. What is going on?
I don't really have a positive opinion, so I'm just mostly not.
Well, so give your oppositional opinion. That's
well, it's just,
if it's only about Palestine though, you cannot.
It is.
Then. So give it.
That's pretty much it. That's just it.
Okay. So then what are you going to do? Not vote?
No.
So what are you going to do?
Be very upset about my vote.
Okay. And then what?
And then hope for the best.
Okay.
That's every election.
Well, so, right. But that's my thing is like, okay, that's what we have to, I don't know what the other choice is.
Like, that's the system, that's the system. We have to play by the system's rules. But
I'm not happy about their stances on Israel at all. I mean, on Palestine at all, in Israel. I'm really not. And the idea that like I have to vote for people who have voted against what I would ever do, there is a thorn.
Just
absolutely.
Such a big one though, It's like a really big deal.
Okay. So then
I just don't really have much positive things to say.
So then are you saying that everything that they've ever done, every positive bit of legislation that they've ever done, everything that they've done to help, marginalized groups, everything that they've ever done is negated by this one policy?
Well, I mean, that's like someone being like, if you've like helped homeless people your whole life, but like, are we just going to focus on this like one murder? It's like, it's kind of a big deal.
Right. No, that makes sense. That's fair. That's totally fair.
That's just how I feel about it. And
okay.
I just don't really.
But see, that's the thing is like people.
I just like don't feel impassioned either way. I just know that like all of it feels.
There
gross.
is a lot of passion from people who feel like you do.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, okay. So, but what I ask is like, okay, so then give me another plan.
Well, that's what I mean is that
there
like
isn't
we're
one.
stuck.
And so like I understand that
like
there's
bound within these constraints.
Right.
You know?
So then what?
That's what I said. I just vote for the lesser of the shitty evils, and then you just kind of.
Because there's a lot of people who come into like the comment sections of my videos, and they say like, "How could you? How could you support this?" And I'm like, "Okay, so give me another plan." And I'm being totally sincere. Give me another plan.
I just don't know.
There isn't one. So you're just going to sit and just be disappointed. But that's fine.
I just can't really offer too much else. Is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't feel emboldened either way. And like I do support the like choose the lesser of the evils, but like I don't feel good enough about it to like rally the troops about it, you know?
Okay. But that also I feel like is an issue. If you're not going to rally the troops one way or the other and be just kind of defunct about it, then you're also then just.
Did that get you?
My ankle.
Oh shit.
But then don't you think that to some degree then plays to the other side too then? Not doing something about trying to move forward in the best possible way.
Yeah, but I don't
it's
think
the
that
only
I'm
way.
I don't think that I'm or anyone who's staying silent about it is like forcing anyone to not do what they were going to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be able to convince anyone who's going to vote for Trump to get away from it.
You don't know that. There are Republicans for Kamala right now. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who feel that way.
No, there are, for sure. But I don't know. I don't feel good about it.
I know. I know. I
just don't like want to have my hands in it.
But not having your hands in it is also handing it to somebody else.
Yeah, but then putting my hands in it feels like I'm supporting genocide. And that's how I feel personally.
This is how I feel about it. Okay. So let's say we don't want to vote. And also, is Donald Trump pro-Palestine all of a sudden?
No.
Is Donald Trump against
yeah,
Israel?
But that's what I'm not also endorsing Donald either. So it's like, Donald, that's a weird thing. Trump either. So it's like,
I call him Donald.
I don't know. I just like don't.
So this is a good way, I think, for me to look at it. Okay. So let's say, for instance, Donald Trump wins the election. Now I have to put all my time, and any extra money that I have, all of my energy into helping people like my daughters get their reproductive rights back. Help people who are trying to seek asylum to stay in this country back. I have to put all of my energy back into trying to help fund schools. I
do agree with that.
So now any energy that I could have put towards the people of Palestine and the people who are in power to do anything to help those people, I can't do that because now I have to fucking worry about what the fuck is happening here. Whereas if I vote for Kamala, my reproductive rights will be, and my daughters will be, okay. I know that she will, again, I'm not trying to idealize this woman. I understand that there are going to be things that she's going to do that I'm not going to like, but at least I don't have to fight for my rights back. You know what I'm saying? Taking away my rights, taking away gay and, trans and, lesbians' rights away. Like, these things are all really on the fucking table.
No, they are.
And so if I have to help them now get their rights back, I certainly can't help people who are getting their lives taken over here. I can't, I there's so much stuff that I can only do so many things.
I do see your point. I don't know. It just still feels.
Sometimes we have to do icky things. I know.
Yeah, but this one is like, and I get it. It's like all lives.
Yeah, but it's kind of
no lives. That sounds a little too close to all lives matter. But
it's frustrating to me. Just honestly, like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that, but it's not perfect. So,
well, I mean, I'm still going to vote. I'm just like, don't really feel comfortable endorsing Kamala. Also, like, I don't know. She's very like police state, which like I'm also very vehemently against. So like I see your points, but and I am still gonna vote, even though I'm pretty sure my vote doesn't matter in this state.
Doesn't.
We vote blue, so
yeah.
It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna still vote. I just giving my endorsement for Kamala seems really fake right now. I don't want to do that.
Well, maybe I'll put it to you this way. Maybe you have less skin in the game because you're a man. But the idea that my rights as a woman are very much on the table.
For sure. I do.
maybe changes how I feel about it and why I'm so vehemently going to endorse Kamala. Because I am a woman. My daughters are women, future girls. My sisters, my mother, my nieces, all of our rights are on the table. My right to my body is on the fucking table.
I get that too.
Is absolutely a fucking no for me.
And I get that. For someone who wants to be a girl dad, I understand that. I mean, not as much as obviously as a woman would, but I don't know. It just feels like prioritizing one's rights over the other's rights. And I get that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I get that the Trump, it's like no rights.
See, but the thing is our rights were intact. Yeah. Our rights were okay. Until
2016.
Right.
No, I agree.
And now they're not.
But the other thing about Kamala too is that like she seems a little bit too much like Joe Biden. Very wishy-washy. And just kind of like
straddles the line a lot.
Yeah. And like I don't trust that either. But because as a woman, I do want to say that she wouldn't take away women's rights or gay rights, but like I don't really know that for certain. I don't think for 1 second she would do that. I really don't. I don't think she would either, but it's just like I don't know. The whole Israel thing just puts a lot of things into question because like I know there's like the majority of Democrats support Israel from, the governmental standpoint. I just wish we could have found someone who wasn't supporting genocide.
See, but even here in your criticisms of her, that is what our democracy stands for. Our ability to publicly say, we do not agree with these politicians. We are disappointed in their choices. We want to vote against those. We still have that right. If Donald Trump were to regain presidency, we could very easily be silenced from that.
No, I know. And I understand like Project 2025 and all of it. I very vehemently against that too. I just can't publicly endorse someone that I don't trust.
Well, and that is also your right.
Yeah. I just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Then definitely don't do it if you don't feel comfortable doing it. But
I do. I didn't think about it from that perspective. You're right. There's other rights in question. I knew that. I don't think I just like verbalized it, but that is a good point.
If a woman that
faces out of my head.
The what?
Like I just can't get all the kids' faces out of my head,
I understand. Listen,
I'm not saying that like endorsing Kamala means that you're endorsing genocide. I don't mean that either, but I personally just don't feel like, I don't know.
You've made your point clear. I think I understand you having trepidations about giving her, you're not going to give her the, hooray, for Kamala. I understand that. I really do. But I just feel like we have so much.
I would never vote for Trump.
On the line. No, God. I would never.
I would never vote for Trump.
But, and that's the thing, right? Like
of all the people, politicians like corrupt, it's because of greed, right? Like no political system is perfect because people aren't perfect. But the thing is that like, of all the greedy people, Trump is like the forerunner. Like that man only does stuff that's advantageous to him.
Kamala might not be perfect. And Kamala has made mistakes, but I don't believe Kamala is fucking evil. I think Donald Trump is fucking evil. He is a felon. He is a fucking rapist. He's to me the most disgusting human being I've ever come across in my life. He revolts me. I find him fucking revolting on every single fucking cellular level of my body. I cannot stand even just the mere mention of him makes me sick to my stomach.
I do. Where was I? I was like in Culver the other day and I saw someone driving by in a Trump truck. Like, one of those trucks that have like 10 flags on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, just from an aerodynamic standpoint and the cost of gas right now, this is so dumb. But I
Literally.
guess that's the following
Put a little
in a
wind
nutshell.
resistance on your fucking truck. Good idea.
But not even just that, but then like because of the wind resistance and the driving on the highway, like one of those flags could go flying and just impale a whole
somebody.
family. Yeah. So just like that, I was like, you're Trump following in a nutshell. Oh, it was in Westwood.
No.
It was like on UCLA's campus. I was like,
crazy.
this is crazy.
That's crazy.
I was like, you're clearly trying to incite upsetness from the students.
Trump telling
Upsetness? That's not
upsettery. Saying to a 10-year-old girl, like, I'm going to be dating you in 10 years. Like
talking about your own daughter's
saying that
ungrown chest.
Gross. Yeah. Gross. So gross.
Also, like, it's always the people on the right talking about Epstein's Island. It's like,
hello?
You're a guy who went to
People
Epstein's
are so
Island
delusional. I don't understand.
And he's also been like verified saying really creepy things about underage kids. So it's like, I'm so confused.
I know. Even just the whole fucking Access Hollywood grab him by the pussy thing. Like, that should have been enough to be a disqualifier for him. Yeah. Like, that is so viscerally like disgusting to me. Like, it makes me like shudder. Like, I can't. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah. And then Donald Trump, we can segue Donald Trump into the next topic, said about Imane Khelif, the boxer from Algeria, trans people don't belong in women's sports, or he said something like that. Do you even know about this?
I mean,
you don't watch the Olympics,
recently, I didn't really watch the Olympics.
Imane Khelif, a boxer, a female boxer from Algeria, gets in the ring with Carini, I can't remember her first name, an Italian woman boxer. They get in the ring. They box. Now, if you're unfamiliar with boxing, you put gloves on, and in the Olympics, you wear a helmet, and you go in and you start punching each other. Okay? Everybody understands?
In the Olympics, they wear a helmet?
Oh, yeah. Like one of those like protective helmets. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yes. So they start boxing, and Imane lands a couple good fucking right hooks. I don't even know which punches they were. To Carini. And after 46 seconds, Carini taps out.
With a helmet on? I didn't even know they wore helmets.
Yeah, with a helmet. Taps out.
Big part.
And she's like, I don't want it. I don't want any more of this fucking smoke. And then she insinuates.
She literally quit.
46 seconds. Okay. Then she basically insinuates and implies that Imane Khelif is a man.
Right there on the spot.
Which she is not. Yes.
Like as she's tapping out?
I believe so. I don't know if she actually said it. I don't know if she alluded to it. I don't know what the context was of how this came to be. But I guess last year or like last Olympics where there was a different tournament, there's this Russian organization that did like genetic testing and said that she had like high levels of testosterone, and she and I think another Chinese boxer couldn't box in the competition, but it was very corrupt. And it was like she had just beaten a Russian boxer before or something like that. There was like some kind of like reason beside.
Russia was corrupt.
So shocking.
Yeah.
What?
Russia, the government.
Right.
Yeah,
yes, of course.
People.
And so she was eliminated, or, she had to withdraw from that competition. And so, but that turned out to be like bullshit. They never said what the tests were. They never gave like the data on the test. But she has elevated levels of testosterone, therefore giving her a slight advantage, which makes her, I guess, a little bit stronger or whatever than, women who don't have.
The whole point of
But
sports?
the thing about hormones is they go up and down all the time.
Right.
What a lot of people don't know is like women, when they go into their PMS phase, it's when their testosterone is higher. That's why we're fucking crazier, is because our testosterone is higher. I think a lot of men don't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Our estrogen drops and our testosterone levels rise. So that's why we become raging assholes like men are. Hello? That should really give a lot of people some insight on to how this whole fucking misogynistic bullshit works. So anyway, so because of this like physical and perceived, advantage, she taps out or whatever. It's like, no, you went into a boxing ring and was being outboxed by somebody. And then she makes this apology. I'm so sorry to Imane. This is not what I wanted to happen. But, my Olympic dreams had gone up in smoke and I was just like really frustrated. It's like, so you brought all of this hate, misogyny, transphobia onto this woman because your Olympic dreams were going up in smoke. Like you are literally
Harding much?
Yeah, putting her life in danger.
Right.
You're literally putting her livelihood in danger. You're putting
You can't even be trans.
She's from Algeria. They're first of all, they wouldn't even send a trans player or athlete to the Olympics. Never mind what a trans person, so that's like you got hit in the head a couple times and you didn't like you're a fucking
That's the
boxer.
job.
I don't understand.
That's not even 50% of your job. The majority of boxing is learning how to take
a punch.
hit.
Okay, so I don't know. You guys don't know this, but I have a heavy bag in my garage hanging there. I have boxing gloves. I've boxed for like a decade. I love boxing. I've been boxing like a long time. And 50% of everything that I've ever done is like, you got to be able to take a fucking hit to the face.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I really hate it. I don't like it. I don't like getting hit anywhere, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
And if you're an Olympic athlete who, as you say, I've been training my whole life, bitch, you're supposed to get hit in the fucking face. That's why you're wearing a helmet.
This is going to sound
really bothered me.
Crazy. But even as a kid, after my first fight,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I have to learn how to take a punch. So
Yeah.
I used to sometimes
Punch yourself in the face.
myself in the face repeatedly.
Oh, little
like
Eddie, don't
on both
do that.
sides, like just punching myself
little baby Ed.
as hard as I could. Yeah. So like to this day, I have a decent strong jaw. Like I can take a punch, at least from my own.
Yes.
But I like to believe I still
Ed's like pulling punches on himself.
like hit myself pretty hard. Obviously not as hard as someone with rage would towards me, for sure. But like even without taking boxing,
Yes.
I knew that is a big part.
Absolutely.
You have to learn how to take a punch,
And
especially in the face.
At that level,
even if you're wearing a helmet.
at the Olympics, it would be like
to tap out after 40 seconds is wild.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It would be like if, I don't know, a marathon runner was like, I'm tired.
Went like 20 feet and was
I
like,
didn't know
I
you
can't
guys
do
would
this.
make me do so much running.
Yeah.
What? That's what you... Hello?
I mean, literally Floyd Mayweather's literal whole strategy for boxing is to tire the other person out by taking so many hits that doesn't affect him.
Right.
Like that man learned how to perfected rolling his shoulder so much, like to the point that people call it cheating.
Right. Well, that was a whole other thing too, right? Is they're saying because she has high levels of testosterone, she has this like unfair advantage.
That's all of sports.
Every physical body in a sport that is good is usually because they have some kind of advantage.
People literally go up to anyone who's over 6 feet tall and you're like, did you play basketball?
Right. You have a genetic advantage.
Why would you ask that? Right.
Over every...
Exactly.
You don't go in...
No one went up to Shaq and was like, hey, man.
It's really not fair that you're 7'6" or whatever the fuck he is.
He's taller.
Really?
Yeah, like, whatever he is, so tall.
How tall is Shaquille O'Neal? I must know. 7'1".
Oh, shit.
He's only 7'1".
He's only 7'1".
But like, if you walk up onto a basketball court, you're like, this is not fair. You guys are all 1.5 feet taller than me. It's like, that's just, or even conversely.
Or like, what about even just in normal life? Going, like, you know what I mean? Like, someone really pointed out to me the advantage as a man of being tall.
Yes.
Because I was like, I always knew that like kind of played an advantage, but someone was literally like, no, the number one most biggest feature that women are attracted to is height.
Yeah.
Over anything else.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense for a lot of things.
Right.
And then, but no one goes up to you and is like, you're not allowed to date.
You can't
you're too tall.
take your profile off the internet. You can't date.
Like,
it's not
that's
fair.
ridiculous.
Right. The thing is too, is like, do you notice nobody has ever really said that there is this physical unfair advantage for any other athletes until it's a masculine looking brown woman. Fuck that shit. Like that's such fucking bullshit. Michael Phelps, this is the comparison that's being drawn a lot. Michael Phelps is the most winning Olympic athlete ever, right? He has the most gold medals of anybody in the world. But nobody has ever been like, it is unfair. Michael Phelps has webbed feet. He has webbed fucking feet like a fucking
like an aquatic
frog,
animal.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Like meant for the water. His wingspan is longer than proportional to his body.
Yep.
He produces half the lactic acid of any other human. Do you know what lactic acid does? Lactic
tires your muscles
It
out.
enters your muscles and it tires them out. That's why it like burns.
And that stiffening feeling.
Right. It burns while you're working out because it's entering your body. So you stop. He has half of that. So he has an advantage there too. He's also how tall is he?
He's really tall.
How tall is Michael
He's like
Phelps?
6'7".
Not my, who the hell is Tom Felton? How tall is Michael Phelps? Michael Phelps is 6'4". That is very tall.
Right. Versus like, which like theoretically, if you think about someone who's like 5'9" jumping into that water,
right?
This person has a
height advantage,
7 to 8 inch advantage.
Right.
They're just gonna be more closer to the end.
Here's another one. How about jockeys? Okay, what if I was like, I want to professionally horse race, but it is not fair. I am 5'8" and all these guys are 5'1". It's not fair. They have a shortness advantage over me. They're lighter, they're smaller, and it makes it easier for the horse.
I'm sure all the short people out there appreciate this reference.
Right? They have a height advantage in a different way.
Yeah.
And because they are smaller and more compact, it is easier for the horse to race faster on a track.
Yeah. They take up less.
Who has ever fucking said
them.
that's not fair?
Right.
Nobody. But when it's a brown woman who looks a little bit more masculine and has muscle on her. Here's another thing that really pisses me off.
Also, just like in general, when is it appropriate to talk about other people's bodies?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, this is the Olympics, so like, yeah, sure. It's obviously a topic that's gonna come up. But right now, I want to juxtapose Ilona Maher. Do you know who Ilona Maher is? Ilona Maher. Ilona Maher is this American rugby player.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And she is so good and she performed so well. Our rugby team won the bronze medal. I don't think that that's something that has like ever happened. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on it. But it's rare if it's happened ever. And she is 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, so muscular, solid as a fucking, like, you know, she is solid.
As a rock.
But she also, you know, plays rugby wearing red lipstick, which I appreciate. But she looks masculine. She has a bigger jawline. She's big. She's fucking jacked. You know what I mean? But she has championed this like movement of like strong and beautiful are not, you know, they can be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Women call them in all shapes.
They are not mutually exclusive.
Right, yeah.
You can be both. And as a woman who is bigger and stronger, I've worked really hard to be as muscular as I can because I like having muscle on my body. It's always been very difficult. I've never been a dainty flower. I've never been a tiny little girl. Like I've never been like that. So
yeah, even for the Wayne Brady thing, you were like having a hard time trying to figure out what summer chic was because you're like, I'm not a dress girl.
I'm not a dress girl. I'm not a dainty summer dress girl. I'm a more masculine. I wouldn't say masculine, but I'm definitely not that.
Yeah.
And to see Ilona Maher, and the world has rallied around Ilona Maher. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, she's the representation and manifestation of everything women have wanted. She's a strong, assertive woman, and she's done all these wonderful things. And then you juxtapose that with Imane Khelif, and it's like, okay, it shouldn't apply to just her. It shouldn't apply to just Ilona Maher. And it doesn't apply.
I can't stop thinking about it. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. I'm so scared right now.
I'm saying something very profound and important right now.
I was trying. Okay. That fucking mouse smelled this. I know it.
Oh, it's probably looking for that fucking bar. But, you know, clearly, you know, certain things only apply to certain women, right? And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Ilona Maher because I know she has gone through so much scrutiny in her life for being the way she is and for looking the way she does. You know, but to see her championed in this way as a woman who is more masculine and watching Imane be just absolutely just vilified, you know, simultaneously.
Over an assumption.
A false assumption.
Right.
Yeah. You know, simultaneously it was really discouraging and disheartening because, you know, I felt so bad for Imane.
But didn't a bunch of celebrities or people like weigh in on it?
On the Imane thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. JK fucking Rowling's bitch ass.
Ew, I hate her.
Fucking hate her. Donald Trump did. I'm sure Matt Gaetz and things of that, you know, I'm sure he did. Donald Trump Jr. did, I believe.
Jake Paul, right? That
Jake
fucking
Paul.
fake boxing.
Well, also, it's like, Jake Paul, I'd love to see you do some kind of performance enhancing drug test. Okay. Like, let's be fucking real. Like to talk about cheating in sports. Okay. So it was just so, but then none of them.
If you could even call it a sport, from what I understand, most of his matches are performative.
Probably. Yeah. And, but I don't know to this day if any of those people who've come out and said anything like that have apologized to Imane. She deserves an apology. She should sue the shit out of them if you ask me.
That's libel.
Absolutely. Like, honestly, Imane, you should own Harry Potter. You should own the Prisoner of Azkaban and all of the other chapters.
Yeah. I was going to say you should own Trump Tower, but I don't even know if he owns it.
Yeah, right. I don't think he does either. I think it's been collected.
Yeah, that should say a lot.
What those Prime energy drinks? You should own that company too. Some Algerian boxer now owns, I don't know, everything. She deserves it because that's bullshit. And the thing is, like, what people don't understand is, like, this is also, it's not just transphobia. This is misogyny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm all for Imane suing everybody. And I think she's going to meddle. I'm pretty sure she's going to meddle. And good for her. I'm glad she does. I hope she does. Because it can't be easy for a woman who, looks more masculine to just live, just exist, let alone be in the spotlight like this. And I'm sure she's called a man all the time, and
probably by guys who don't look like Joey Swole, but probably look like,
who also couldn't take a punch in the face from her, I guarantee.
Yeah, because it's like one thing to be muscular and it's another thing to have sheer force.
Yeah.
I know plenty of muscular guys who it's just for show. Like it's for vanity reasons. They don't actually have power.
I have boxed with a number of coaches who are like, "You're a really strong woman." I'm like, "Thank you very much." They're like, "You hit pretty fucking hard." I'm like, "I really try." Thank you. There's a lot of rage inside of my body that has to come out. I love boxing. I love boxing so much. There's actually a class that I want to take that I love it. Have you ever boxed?
No, I feel I'm too uncoordinated.
So we're having a little bit of technical difficulty right now. So unfortunately, we're going to have to abruptly call the episode. Ed has been slightly traumatized.
Glitching.
We're really sorry. Please come back next week. I'm going to Ed's spiel is so wordy. I don't even know what he says at the end of every show. You can find me. When you do the outro, I just zone out.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of What in the Shibal. You can find us on our socials.
Do you want to know what's happening? Do you want me to tell you what's happening? There's a mouse in the garage right now. We have to go. I have to go.
We screamed so loudly that Archie's tail was in between his legs because he was like, I don't know what's going on, but
you should be doing your job.
Yeah.
You should be doing your
You're
job.
Clearly part Chihuahua, and I'm pretty sure you guys were bred to kill mice.
So, and it's also right up there.
Above my head.
And we don't want it to jump down right onto Ed's head because I don't think he'll ever recover from that. He's had a rough week, so I don't want to do it.
I'm going to lose my voice from screaming so loudly.
But thank you so much for being here. You can find us on our socials. Studio One. I can't do it. Just do it.
You were already saying you.
If you can find me at Studio One on TikTok and Instagram.
I'm at Etch-a-Sketch with the J on everything. Archie here is at Archie and Colt on Instagram. You can find the podcast at What in the Shibal. That's SHIBAL. Make sure you write in. We've been getting a lot of those write-ins. We'll probably address and read some of them next week. But feel free to write in at whatintheshibal, SHIBAL @gmail.com. Good mail. Otherwise, there is a video version if you're listening to this podcast on YouTube.
Oh, you know what? If you want, you should join our page. Oh, you can hit the like and subscribe thing. There's this would be a great Patreon video. If you want to support our podcast, you can always join our Patreon. There should definitely be some really good behind the scenes clips this week
but
in
don't
particular.
Listen to it, watch it with your headphones in because it'll blow your ears out. I'm being dead serious.
So we would love that support, obviously, if you can and want to. We'll be back next week with a very riveting episode. What's that sound? Okay, we have to go, man. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye.
Okay,